Wait a minute. Here we go. I was just gabbing away, and man, I was really profound. And I realized I had hit the wrong button and I wasn't on live. So I'm just sitting here talking to myself. Golly, I'm juggling. I've got a bunch of balls in the air today. It's one of those crazy days. It's a Saturday. You can do that on the weekend. How's everybody doing? Good to see you. Glad you're here for Daily Distinction. Thank you for making a few minutes on your Saturday to join me. I'm also participating this weekend in a virtual conference, and so it started up, and I was trying to wait until the very last minute. So sorry I messed up. Anyway, great to see you. How you doing today? Hope everything's good with everybody. And we just released a video, and I'm so proud of it. I've been working on it for the last day or so. And can I share it with you? It's just a minute and a half long. I'm only going to take, it's less than 90 seconds. Take a look. Well, I'm sorry, it is 92 seconds. So take a look at this. I'm really proud of it. I just want to show it to you here for 90 seconds. Here we go. This year's summit will be the best UBS ever.
This year's summit will be the best UBS ever.
This year's summit will be the best UBS ever.
Virtual means you don't have to buy 3 nights hotel in Vegas to attend.
Virtual means you don't have to spend money on Las Vegas meals to attend.
Virtual means you don't have to buy a round-trip ticket to Las Vegas to attend. From now until July the 20th, your investment is only $97.
And from now until July 20th, you receive $100 off your VIP ticket.
It's your business summit.
It's your last chance to attend the Ultimate Business Summit.
It's your last chance to attend the Ultimate Business Summit. So there you go. I just wanted to share that with you to kick it off. We've been working on that video. And it is your last chance to attend the Ultimate Business Summit. We're not doing it again after this. And we're not going to rename it like the really Ultimate Business Summit or the Superior Ultimate Business Summit or whatever. It is your last chance to attend. So I just wanted to share that with you because that's brand new. Just came out today. There's my friend Mel. Hey, man, 2 days in a row. I am so glad that you are here. Thank you. Thank you for being here. And Joseph, I am just as jealous can get right now. Lying by the pool on a Saturday, drinking a martini. Oh, man. And watching Daily Distinction. So, man, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Pam is asking, how hot is it? It's so hot. I saw a fire hydrant chasing a dog. That's how hot. It's an old Johnny Carson line. Right now at noon, it's 107 in Las Vegas. So hope everybody's doing great. Brian, great to see you. Oh, thank you for doing that. The things that are there. Thank you very much for that. I really appreciate that. And we've got news coming up on the podcast coming next week. We thought we were going to be able to announce it this week. Had some other things going on. And so we're going to get that all taken care of next week. With a new affiliation with the podcast. So glad you're here. Mike, always great to see you, my friend. Thank you for being there. Evidently, I'm checking in with me. Like that. There we go. Pam, thanks again. Always great to see you from the Sports and Literary Bunker. I love that. And Charles, she's fighting through. She's had better days, but she's had a couple worse ones here. Yes, Ken. Oops, I hit the wrong button there to kick us off. I had see if I need a refresher. I got to go back and watch my live streaming course again. Oh, you bet. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate that. Thanks for sharing it. That means the world. That's just super cool. Oh gosh, I forgot to hit the button. So, oh well. You saw the pretty video. Anyway, yeah, anything above my IQ is too hot. Well, Mel, we've got about 30 degrees to go then. It's only 107 here. What are you talking about? So, hey, if you watch Daily Distinction, you know that on the weekends we just do a little short check-in edition just to see how your weekend's going and just see what you're doing and try to share just one thought to chat about over the weekend. And I mentioned I'm part of a group that's doing a weekend seminar, and I've stepped away from it for a little bit. It's a virtual seminar that I'm attending this weekend on how to have better virtual events, which obviously we're going to put to use with a program that I'm going to be doing in the fall, and also with the Ultimate Business Summit that we got coming up in August. And so broke away from that for just a second, but there was a great line that I absolutely had to share with you from this program today. We were talking about how you got to continue to learn. And we were talking about how you got to continue to grow and all that. And it was really, really good. And the person running the program, Barry Baumgartner, had this great line. She said, "It's like having a closet for all your old jeans from college. Just because they fit once doesn't mean you have to hang on to them and expect them to fit again." In other words, what happens is so many times, and I am so guilty of this, and maybe that's why it struck me so much, is that, if something works for us one time in one particular situation, how many of us want to hang on to that? And even though it's not working today, I'm going to hang on to that because as opposed to continuing to move forward and continuing to move on and continuing to get better. And that's something I got to challenge myself to do. And I do the same with you, is that as we move on, we don't have to keep hanging on to what used to work. One of the things I wrote years ago is I think one of the biggest problems in many businesses, and I'm not talking like Apple and Southwest Airlines and Starbucks and Amazon. I mean, for smaller businesses like what you and I are involved with in most cases. I think one of the challenges is we tend to work harder on the wrong plan. We create a plan and it might have worked for us at a particular time. And so we think if we double down with our efforts and just work harder, things are going to get better. Maybe we need a new or a better plan. Marshall Goldsmith wrote a book, and it has one of the best titles of any book I've ever read. It's called What Got You Here Won't Get You There. And that is so simple, but yet it is so powerful. What got you here got you here. It won't necessarily get you to where you want to be. So whatever you did to get you to this point, whatever you did to make your business at this level or your personal life at this level, or even your personal relationships at this level, what got you here got you here. And that's not to say it's good. It's not to say it's bad. Man, I am so appreciative of where I am, but what got me here got me here. Now, where do I want to go? Because what got me here won't necessarily get me there. What I did got me to this point, but where I need to go next might and probably will require something different. I don't need to keep a closet for my old jeans from college. I ain't going to fit in it. And that's not so bad either, right? That what we have to do is to continue to grow, to continue to learn, and continue to work, and that's what we're working on. So what got you here won't get you there. Well, Ken, man, if this wasn't COVID-19, I'd throw my arms around you to hug you. I need to thank JJ Virgin, my friend, who has me working out and on a diet and trying to kick my tail and get me in better shape. I'm trying to get rid of those COVID-19 pounds I put on. So let's hope it stays that way. I appreciate that. And Kenya, I dropped the ball and didn't click the little box there. So sorry about that. Just sit through. Oh gosh. There you go. Oh, you like that? It's my weekend background. There there, Charles. Over the years, I've been audited 7 times, 8 times. And it was kind of interesting because in several of those years, they owed me money, which I kind of, which was kind of cool. Yeah, COVID spelled. There you go. Hey, Weldon, great to see you. I'm still guilty of that. I learned in the car business that you can't be that way because what works today will not work tomorrow when it comes to selling cars. Yeah, and Weldon, you make a great point. I mean, it's not just. I think we think of that in terms many times of big business, right? And it's our personal effort. It's our personal thing. And think about it. There's a reason they change the models on cars every year. It's to keep refreshing. But yet, so many times in business, I am guilty of this in the past, and I've seen so many do it. You know what they do? It's like, oh, what's our plan for next year? Let's take this year's plan. We'll erase the year at the top and put a new year in. I see this happen at meetings. Right? What are we going to do for this year's meeting? Well, we'll plug different keynote speakers in, but we're just going to keep doing the same thing. And if we keep doing the same thing, it's the oldest line in the world is the definition of insanity is to continue to do the same thing and expect different results. So that's what we have to work on. Oh, Mel, that's so great. I have just crossed paths with her and we have connected. And I did a little virtual keynote for, I don't know if you know Blue Melnick and Barry Baumgartner, but I did a virtual keynote for a program that they were putting on. And JJ has worked, she's been a client of theirs. And so she'd read my books. And unbeknownst to me, she'd read what I'd written and they connected us. And so I'm going to be speaking on her program next weekend. Mastermind that she has, and I'm just blown away. She has been an incredible, a great new friend, and so I appreciate that. She's extraordinary. So I will make sure to pass that along. Brian, it's always great to see you. Thank you for taking time to be here today. And Bruce, man, you nailed it. It's so hard to turn a battleship, which is why it's a built-in advantage that those of us with smaller businesses should have. And we need to exploit that, right? We need to exploit the nimble nature that we have. But yet when we get in that rut and we just keep our blinders on, we just got to keep doing what we've always done. Look, isn't it interesting? And again, I'm pointing out what I'm at fault at as well. But isn't it interesting? I mean, how sometimes times move us to have to do something different. I mean, that's what's happened in the speaking business. It's what's happened in Bruce. Well, look at what you do with video. I mean, there's some really incredible things happening because of what's going on. Oh, they're great, aren't they, Mel? Barry booked me to speak for an event in Miami. I'd hate to say 12, 13 years ago. And thanks. You're the best, Mel. I appreciate that. Thank you, my friend. So what I want to encourage you to do, and it's, as we do on the weekends, it's just kind of a check-in rather than our full-blown program. But what Barry said really struck me. You don't need to keep a closet of your college clothes. You got to move on. You got to try something different. And just because they fit once upon a time doesn't mean it fits today. So what are you trying to squeeze into now? Like we would all try to squeeze into our college jeans, right? What is a little bit out, or even if they fit, is it the right fashion? I mean, I show my age. I don't need to be wearing bell bottoms and platform shoes. All right, I don't need to be looking like I'm going to the disco. Okay, so even if they fit, they might not be the right fashion. What do we need to change? What do we need to do? How can we find something that fits for today and takes us from where we are to where we want to be? I'll remind you again, in case you just tuned in. It's the line about what got you here won't get you there. What got you here got you here. How can we learn and grow to get us to the next stage and to the next place that we want to be and should be? That's what we're focusing on. Hey, I really appreciate you being here. Yeah, we just kind of check in on the weekends and see what's going on. I'll do the same again tomorrow at this time. A couple things before we go, though. Got to remind you, the free program, we've got a free audio program on Distinction Nation. Some of you have said that you're using it, and I really appreciate that, or that you've been through it and it's helped. I really appreciate that. We are going to, because of some things we got going on, some obligations that we have and some opportunities that we have, we're going to have to pull down some of the free things that are on Distinction Nation and put behind a paywall. But it's not going to be yet. I'll give you a little bit of notice. But rather than wait on that, why don't you just go there? Just sign up for Distinction Nation. You can download our 14-day audio program on what it takes to create personal distinction. Do that. It's there for you. It's absolutely free for now. I just don't want you to miss it when our agreement says that we've got to pull it out. So make certain that you do that. Also, check out ultimatebusinesssummit.com. We're so excited about the program. The Ultimate Business Summit is coming up next month, August 13th and 14th, and it is going to be very, very cool. Charles, I will give you 2 weeks is what we're nailing down the final date with the new distributor and all that kind of thing. So I will absolutely make certain that you do that. Oh, Jerry, good to see you. 2020's presented a world where change has to occur. Change your diet. Yeah, boy, isn't that the truth? Al Trout, I think it was, wrote a book many years ago. One of the great books. When I first started researching all this, he had a book called Differentiate or Die, which, option A or B. It's really, really good. There's certain things in there I don't agree with, but it sure stimulated my thinking. And you're right. Now it's that point too. Change your diet. I mean, we've got to. Walden on the right page. You betcha. There we go. Studio 54. Here we come. I'm ready. Oh, God. Bruce, what a great question. And I don't mean to, gee whiz, I sound like somebody giving you a definite maybe. Yeah, the answer is yes, right? I think sometimes what happens, see if you agree with this. I think sometimes what happens is that external change is the catalyst for internal change, right? I mean, there's been a lot of change structurally because of the pandemic, but I also think that external change has generated some internal change that maybe you needed that kick in the tail to get you to do something. And maybe I needed that kick in the tail to get me, in some unique and different ways. And so I think the answer is yes. I think the external factor is forcing many businesses and many of us to make adjustments. But I also think it's contributing to some internal change that we all need. Brian, I appreciate it. I am grateful to you for being here. That means the world. Think of change manager. Yeah, vaudeville to silent movies to radio to talkies to television. Randall, that's exactly right. And now too. There was an article. Funny you say this, Randall. There was an article I was reading about this yesterday. In that, in Hollywood, and certainly the decade I was a movie reviewer, there was this big wall between. In Hollywood, they don't call them movies, right? If you're in the business, you call them features. So there was this huge line between features and television. And occasionally somebody in features would stray over to television, right? But it was always kind of considered a step down. Good grief. I mean, now, here Tom Hanks's latest movie is released direct to Apple, which was going to be a theatrical thing, but because of what's going on, that changed. And man, some of the best stuff I'm seeing, I bet you too, is on Netflix and Apple and Hulu and Disney Plus, and it's hard to know where to subscribe, but HBO. I mean, so this whole change continues, and that's as often said, the only thing constant is change, and that's what we got to do. We got to change our habits. Benjamin Franklin said, "First we make our habits, and then they make us." It's not a bad topic to chat about a little bit tomorrow. And we'll do that right here at 3:00 Eastern, noon Pacific on our next Daily Distinction. By the way, don't forget, mark your calendar, set your reminder tomorrow night, 8:00 Eastern, 5:00 Pacific. It's the Ken and Glenn Show with a guy named Scott. And we're going to have a good time tomorrow night as well. Hey, I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow right here. Thank you for taking my favorite half hour of the day. Our check-in turned out to be 22 minutes. Can't kick on that. Appreciate it, everybody. Thank you so much for taking time to watch today. I'll catch up with you tomorrow on the next Daily Distinction.